Welcome everyone to the Power BI Module 1. This is the intro and basics for the 6-part educational series. This video presentation is going to go over the following. Setting intentions. You want to know why it is that you are here to learn Power BI. We're going to go over a 15-question pre-knowledge assessment and review each question. The question will be asked and then the following slide will give the answer. I'll get into a little bit about why to learn Power BI with some of the differences between Microsoft Excel and Power BI. And then we'll dive deep into understanding the layout of the program. We'll go through each of the toolbars and we'll work in sequential order going from the top to the right side to the bottom and then to the left side so that you know the ins and outs of the program as you start to dive in. We will talk a little bit about Power Query, how and why you need it, a mention on DAX, what it is, what it stands for, and what are calculated columns. And we'll talk about the 3 main views that you'll be using in Power BI, especially as a beginner. There is Report View, which is your bread and butter of the visualization tools. This is what everyone's going to be seeing when you go to publish a report, and this is what you'll be interacting with most of the time. And finally, what's next in the Power BI lineup? All right, setting intentions. This is knowing your why to learn Power BI. Ask yourself these questions. What inspired you to take this Power BI course, and what do you hope to achieve at the end? How could data visualization empower you to make better decisions in your current role? What have been your biggest challenges or gaps in your data management process? How many different data sources do you work with regularly, and how do you integrate them, if at all? Can you describe a recent situation where better data insights could have improved the outcome? What decisions do you or your team make that rely on accurate and timely data? How confident are you currently in using data to tell a story or to justify a recommendation? And finally, the 8th question is, what would a successful Power BI report dashboard look like for your workflow and mission needs? Think about these questions as you go through the course. The questions will be asked and reiterated throughout the course to kind of help reinforce the thought processes and really the why behind learning this. All right, the pre-knowledge assessment. Question 1, what is the primary function of Power BI? Is it A, to edit and create documents, B, to analyze and visualize data, C, to create presentations, D, to design websites? Answer, B, to analyze and visualize data. Question 2, true or false? Power BI is a tool that only works with Microsoft Excel data. False. The correct answer is false. All right, question 3, in Power BI, which view is typically used to create visuals such as charts and tables? Is it A, data view, B, model view, C, reports view, or D, visual view? Correct answer is C, report view. All right, question 4, true or false? The primary purpose of Power Query is to transform and prepare data before analysis in Power BI. This is true. The correct answer is true. Which of the following is an example of a data transformation task in Power Query? Is it A, creating slides for a presentation, B, editing video content, C, filtering rows and changing data types, D, adjusting image resolution? The correct answer is C, filtering rows and changing data types. Question 6, true or false? A measure in Power BI is a static calculation that does not change based on filters applied to the report. This is false. The correct answer is false. Question 7. What is the purpose of a slicer in Power BI? Is it A, to display images on the dashboard? Is it B, to filter data in reports interactively? Is it C, to add text descriptions to visuals? Or is it D, to export data to other formats? The correct answer, B, to filter data in reports interactively. Question 8. Which of the following visuals would best represent trends over time? So A, pie chart, B, a bar chart, C, a line chart, or D, a matrix table? The correct answer is C, a line chart. Question 9. True or false? Power BI dashboards are designed to combine multiple reports and visuals on a single page. Correct answer is true. Question 10. In a DAX formula, what does the if function allow you to do? Is it A, filter data in a report, B, create a conditional calculation, C, combine multiple data sets, or D, remove unnecessary rows? The correct answer is B, create a conditional calculation. Question 11. Which of the following Power BI features is used to restrict data visibility to specific users based on their roles? Is it A, data views, B, row level security, or RLS, C, report filter, or D, visuals pane? The correct answer is B, row level security, or RLS. Question 12, true or false? Calculated columns in Power BI are created based on data in each row and do not change based on report filters. This is true. Question 13. Which Power BI visual is best suited for showing parts of a whole, like the distribution of mission types? Is it A, line chart, B, bar chart, C, pie chart, D, a map? The correct answer is C, pie chart. Although I will although I will add in a note about pie charts, you can usually do better with a donut chart. They just simply look better. Question 14. True or false? Power BI allows users to create custom calculated fields in DAX. This is true. And finally, question 15. Which Power BI feature allows multiple users to collaborate on reports in a shared environment? Is it Power Query Editor, B, Data View, C, Power BI Workspaces, or D, Slicers? Correct answer is C, Power BI Workspaces. Okay, why learn Power BI? For those of you in the DAF or the DoD, Excel has its limitations and it has its place. But more and more, we are finding that Power BI is the solution that we need to implement. For everyone else who is not part of the DAF or the DoD, Power BI allows you to integrate into the other Power Platform programs very, very easily at that. If you connect to a SharePoint list, you have automatic updates. You have interactive dashboards. Everything that's on the dashboard, it can be interactive, where it will filter down. You can have things affect other tables. There are new features being developed for Power BI on a monthly basis. The Microsoft Power BI development team, they are working hard all the time to bring out new features, new tools that make our job for data analysis and presenting the information a lot easier. So in Excel, you have rows and columns. There are manual calculations, basic charts, and there are file size limitations. Plus, to do updates, it's rather time consuming. In Power BI, however, there are interactive dashboards, automatic data refreshes, and AI-powered visuals, cloud and big data integration. This is big. This is huge. You also get real-time insights. Now, a quick tip. If you do not have Power BI installed on your device, you can open up the Software Center. It should be available on all Nibbert computers. If Power BI does not show up in your Software Center, you can submit a help ticket to get it installed. Contact your local comm squadron and have them install Power BI for you. All right, another quick tip here. To take advantage of all the features that Power BI has, Every time that Power BI comes out with an update, the features are listed in the preview features area, and that can be found within options and settings. So if you go to file, and then at the bottom, options and settings, you will find all of the new options that are out. Make sure you frequently check this area. Sometimes you don't get notifications that Power BI has an update, and then you won't know whether or not if you have all the latest features. In the application itself, we're going to go over the elements. The main element in the center area is your canvas. This is the program as a whole. This view is the program itself as a whole. In the report view, you'll add in all of your visualizations and you'll add in all your KPIs, your tables, your matrix tables. A note on this overview of the program, this is not all encompassing. The program has a lot of dynamic features to it. Depending on what it is that you have selected, the top toolbar will change its options. So this is kind of a brief overview. It's a broad overview, so you have a baseline understanding of what to do when you get into it. So starting at the top, we have our Home tab. There's an Insert tab, Modeling, View, Optimize, and Help. Under the Home ribbon, this is where you'll find the tools that you'll use most frequently. Under Data, there's Get Data. There's a direct link for Excel Workbook, One Lake Data Hub, SQL Server. You can enter in your own data by clicking on Enter Data. There's a link to Dataverse and then other recent sources. If you click on Get Data, you'll have a list of all of the sources that are available to Microsoft Power BI. And there are a lot. On the right-hand side, this is where you have the formatting and visual tools. If you don't have some of these options already visible, click on the little plus icon and then you can add them in. There are sync slicers, bookmarks, format, build, and data. Under sync slicers, you can have multiple pages and have slicers across those pages. And you can sync those across each report. Bookmarks are very, very handy. If you don't have the need to create an extra report page, you can create bookmarks. Bookmarks are a way to show or hide different elements on the report. Under Format, you can format the canvas area. Depending on what you have selected, the format area will change accordingly. If you have an object selected, the formatting options will be for that object. If you don't have anything selected, then the formatting options will be for the canvas itself. Under the build area, you have the ability to select any visualization. And then finally, there is the data view. This is the view that shows all of your measures and tables. Quick note on the pie chart and building visualizations. Limit the use of the pie chart. I said it earlier. Generally speaking, using the donut chart will yield you a better result most times. All right, pages. This is the pages I was talking about, where you can add pages, and then on each page you can have multiple different elements. You can have the same elements over and over. Okay, on pages, this is the page area that I was talking about. So if you're familiar with Microsoft Excel, think of adding worksheets. A new page would be similar to adding in a new worksheet. It works if you think about that conceptually. Okay, the left side of the toolbar. This is where you have three main views that you will work in most of the time. The top one is report view. The middle one that is highlighted is table view. And then the third one that is highlighted is model view. There are two more views than what I have highlighted here. I don't have the fourth one here highlighted because we're not going to get into that. That is more of an advanced course. There is a fifth view. If you have the latest version of Power BI, you'll see that in there. Again, that is more for intermediate and advanced users. Under report view, you can discover the possibilities in data visualization. These are just some examples. Visually speaking, they are clean and they're a little bit beyond a basic, but these are just a couple of examples of how to show information. There are various tools that are on these dashboards. Between data tables, there are bar charts and slicers. There's also a picture that is used as a background. The canvas area for building reports and dashboards is really that. It's a blank canvas, and what it ends up looking like is completely up to you. You have so much flexibility to create something that is visually appealing and shows critical insights. Here's another example of what is possible in Power BI. On the right-hand side, you'll see the standard icons. These are the standard Microsoft icons that have been around for a long time. But the icons that are used in the images to the left of that, those are custom icons that were created for this Power BI product. There's a red graph with a down arrow and a green graph with an up arrow. That was encoded into the JSON theme file. And in this course, I'll show you how to do that as well. For those of you in the DAF and the DoD Microsoft Teams group, you will have access to the direct code that I use, the JSON theme file, and you'll see a video come out soon with a step-by-step process on how to do it yourself, with a nice surprise. All right, table view. It is the spreadsheet view of connected data sources. You can add in calculate columns and format your data. Within here, you can create new tables, you can manage relationships, and add in new columns. When you click on table view, you'll simply see your data in the spreadsheet form. You can also create custom columns using DAX. This is an example of a calculated column in one of the products that I built. What it does is it checks the minimum value across 5 different columns and then returns that value. So data modeling. Data modeling is critically important for everyone to understand. It is the foundation of creating a sustainable product. There are terms such as star schema or snowflake model where you have fact and dimension tables that connect everything together. In the model view, this is where you'll create relationships between data sets. You'll simplify your data extraction by connecting tables via related fields. So if there is, say, you have 2 fields that have people's social security numbers in there, you can use that because it's a unique identifier. You can link tables together from a date field, from last name, from first name, or you can create your own unique identifiers by combining first name, last name, or last name, first name, and then that becoming the unique identifier, and then linking those through a relationship. Now, understanding the power behind data modeling, data integrity and accuracy. Proper relationships ensure that your data remains consistent and accurate across different tables. By enforcing referential integrity, errors such as duplicate or orphaned records are avoided. Also, efficient query performance. A well-designed data model minimizes data redundancy and optimizes query execution. Proper relationships reduce the size of data tables and minimize the computational load, which improves performance and responsiveness of dashboards. It's also easier to understand and maintain. A clear data model with well-established relationships helps developers, analysts, and stakeholders understand the data structure quickly. This reduces onboarding time for new team members and makes ongoing maintenance easier. For those of you who always ask the question of what happens when the person who created this leaves or who's going to maintain it, well, this is your answer. A solid foundation of a data model built on correct principles alleviates that issue. It also minimizes data redundancy. So relationships help reduce redundancy by normalizing the data, ensuring that information is only stored once. This prevents inconsistencies and duplication, allowing for more reliable data. Also, accurate reporting and analysis. By using proper relationships and tables, users can accurately aggregate, filter, and cross-reference data. Ensures that metrics calculated from related tables are correct, leading to reliable insights. Also, scalability. Scalability is important. A solid data model is easier to scale as your data grows. Properly normalized data tables with well-defined relationships make adding new data sources or dimensions straightforward without requiring major rework. There's also enhanced data security. By modeling data relationships properly, access to different parts of data can be managed more effectively. Sensitive data can be isolated, and role-based access can be implemented to ensure only authorized users can see certain pieces of information. This is really important. If you have a Power BI product that you are developing for your organization and you have multiple sections that have separate areas of responsibility for data, you can make sure that only the people who need to know that information see that information, but it's all under the umbrella of one Power BI product. And finally, reduce complexity in DAX calculations. Proper relationships between tables simplify writing DAX measures, as the relationships allow for intuitive and efficient calculations. This leads to less complex formulas, reducing the chance of calculation errors and increasing maintainability. Okay, DAX. What is it? Stands for Data Analytics Expression. They are measures of aggregated data values from data sets. DAX measures allow you to extract out incredible insights from your data. You'll find that you will use DAX measures for a whole lot of different things. Okay, you're going to see some examples of dirty data and what it looks like. This is what I call dirty data. We have an Excel spreadsheet where the column headers are there, but there are row breaks. These row breaks break the information. They don't allow you to connect this data source into any analysis tool, such as Power BI, not without a tremendous amount of cleanup. It's better to simply start off with having every column have a column header and think of each row as a record of information without any rows that separate the information. Also, only numerical data that is going to be aggregated should be a whole or decimal number. Otherwise, it should be treated as text. One example is if you work with data sets that have people's social security numbers, when you load up the information in Power BI, if you load it up and transform the data through Power Query first, what happens is Power Query, one of the steps is it does its best to determine what data type that column is. If you have a social security number column that does not have the dashes in it, and someone has a 0 at the front, if that column is auto corrected into a numerical column, then it takes that 0 out. If you work with that kind of data, be on the lookout for it if you find that you have issues. Normalizing the data. The information is laid out to where it's one record of information after another, so there are no row breaks in the information. Now I spoke on Power Query. This is what happens behind the scenes in Power BI. There's a lot that happens behind the scenes before Power BI loads up your data. Power Query is your data cleaning powerhouse. All data should be normalized before creating reports in Power BI. That's really important. So normalizing data in Power Query, you can format columns into specific field types, create calculate columns in Power Query. And what happens in Power Query, the line of code that's in here in the formula bar, that's called M code. Power Query has a user-friendly interface with a preview of what the information is going to look like. It makes the data merging and appending really easy. So within Power Query, this is where you will do a lot of the work up front. The more correct work you do up front in Power Query, the better result that you'll have for a sustainable product. All right, Microsoft Teams. If you are part of the DAF or the DoD inside of Microsoft Teams, there is a great DAF 365 hub that you can go to see the health of the services. If there's any ongoing issues, there are resources there for additional training. And there's a new DAF 365 Central team in Teams that is for power users to collaborate with one another and help each other develop skills, and then let the community know how it is that you're using the Power Platform to enhance your workflow. Okay, remembering your intentions for learning Power BI. Beyond this course, when you go to learn Power BI, regardless of wherever it's at, think of these same 8 questions. It will help draw in your why, and it will help you understand your own reasoning for learning this. That's going to wrap it up for the intro and basics of Power BI. The next module in this course is Power Query. Within that, you will go through and clean up the data. You will also create fact and dimension tables and create the relationships in the model view. After that is bringing your data to life. That's where we'll go into Canvas and start to build out the dashboard. And that's kind of a 2-part. So bringing your data to life and building dashboards. We're going to take a single data set and create a dashboard together from start to finish. From the Power Query to data cleanup, to bringing your data to life, to building the dashboards. You're going to see all this come together. And the things that you're going to learn along the way will help you build your own products in your workplace. And then we will get into sharing through workspaces and leveraging AI tools. Learn how to use Nipper GPT, learn how to use Chat GPT and other things like Copilot, so that you can further enhance your learning and accelerate the development of your products. And then there's a dedicated class to all things DAX. Yes, you need to know this. So bring your laptop, get hands-on experience, and also don't forget to check out the Fighter Country Innovation Podcast. You go to YouTube, type in at Fighter Country Innovation /podcasts. We have a few episodes out. And check it out. It's great stuff. If you are doing this training online and you're ready to dive into Power BI, into the Power Query module, go ahead and click on the next video. I'll see you there.